relation with USA. Okay. Now relations with a major power, in which we have already discussed about the relations with US. All right, I have made you write that. Okay. So now coming on to this, due to the not very good relations of India during that time with video. I think the video is not right in the right frame.
Yes, sir, it's not visible, sir.
ये कुछ है क्या? अब ठीक हुआ, थैंक यू. क्या खुल गया था ये? अच्छा हाँ, now is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So because of some problems in basically dealing with US, I already told you, because there was a Vietnamese war issue and also the coming closer of USA with Pakistan. All right. So that was the major irritant, and that was the main reason why under Indira Gandhi, India tilted towards USSR. All right. So now write this point. With Soviet Union, USSR. All right. So write this, with Soviet Union, USSR. During this phase, the India's relations with USSR, right? During this phase, India's relations with USSR became more close and strategic. Okay. That resulted in the signing of Indo-USSR. That the name was Peace Friendship Treaty, but you just write Indo-USSR Treaty in 1971. Okay, more details about this treaty will be there in the Indo-USSR relations. Okay, so, and what was the major, like a bit major importance of this treaty? It was that we came more close with this treaty, all right, in 71, and by this there was some sort of assurances to provide military support and even the diplomatic backing by the USSR. All right, that diplomatically they will be basically supporting India at all the regional and the global forums, and also the military support will be there. All right. So right, the importance of this treaty was that this treaty provided for military support and diplomatic backing Now this treaty became the major deterrent. Okay, on one side there was China, which was a major threat to India, and on the other side US was also the relations of India with US was also very contradictory, complicated, difficult. So now this treaty and the coming closer of India and USSR, it became a deterrent against China and US. Okay, so this treaty became a deterrent for India against US and China. You know this thing, that when India became independent, all right. So at that time there were this West Pakistan and East Pakistan. Just to give you a short story about this, what was happening was, here the major dominant culture was Punjabi culture, and the majority religion was basically the Muslim religion. All right, so the people were Muslim. Here also the people were Muslim, and but so this is now Bangladesh. At that time, it was East Pakistan. So they were also Muslim, but the thing was they were Bengali Muslim. Okay, now the problem was that the government here started treating these people as inferior. They started committing atrocities against the Bengali Muslims. All right. So Mujibur Rahman even won the political seat here, but he was not allowed to basically govern that particular seat. All right. So this became a very critical problem, and the army, Pakistani army, started committing the real-time atrocities against the people here. All right. The reason was that now people from here started coming into India, like lakhs of migrants, okay, lakhs of illegal migrants started influxing into India. The border was huge, long border, and the border was not at all demarcated properly. The reason due to which what happened, the influx of migrants happened in Assam, Bengal, Northeast, every state of Northeast India. All right, we were already struggling with the famine like situation, shortage of food, so everything didn't overcame properly, and now this problem happened. So the Awami League started fighting here for the people of East Pakistan. Now India basically also started a war with Pakistan because there was a huge immigrant crisis that started happening in India. If it was not checked on, so it would have become a very big, like also existential crisis for India. All right. So that is the main reason why this 1971 war happened. In that war, India militarily and at every possible way helped the people of East Pakistan and helped in their liberation. All right, under Mujibur Rahman Awami League Party. All right, so that happened during Indira Gandhi. Okay, so just put a heading: Bangladesh Liberation War of 1971. Bangladesh Liberation War of 1971. Okay, there was the issue of the suppression. There was the issue of the suppression of the people of East Pakistan in the hands of West Pakistan. The people of East Pakistan were suppressed militarily as well as diplomatically, or not diplomatically but economically. The people of East Pakistan, people in East Pakistan were fighting for their liberation under the leadership of Mujibur Rahman Awami League. Mujibur Rahman Awami League. Okay. Due to this atrocities, there happened a there happened a large scale immigrant crisis in northeast and east in northeastern and eastern part of India, which increased India's economic burden. Now, if they came in India, they will eat in India, they will live in India, they will take shelter in India. It created a economic, it increased the economic burden of India and was a very big security threat to India. And was a very big security threat to India. All right, it was a very big security threat to India. Next point, during such time, India under the leadership of Indira Gandhi recourse to two major strategies. Diplomatic and military. Right under diplomatic, India sought international support for the cause of the people of East Pakistan, and India sought help at international level for, or write whatever you want. India sought help at international level for the cause of the people of East Pakistan and for the threat India was facing. But US refused to help India. But US refused to help India. After which the next step was military action. Next, now write in the next military wala. India militarily provided help to Mukti Bahini. To Mukti Bahini, who were the freedom fighters fighting for their independence in East Pakistan. And in December 1971, launched a full-scale war with Pakistan. But military general told Indira Gandhi that if we will be going at full-scale war with Pakistan, then the outcome will be we will have to fight at two fronts. Because East Pakistan, there was the military presence of Pakistan only, and obviously at the Western Front, we will be having a full-scale war. All right, but the outcome was that within 13 days, within 13 days, India, no, within 13 days, India carved out Bangladesh. Okay, and basically it was the first and the only greatest defeat of such a large number of soldiers, almost 92,000 soldiers of Pakistan left their weapon and kneeled down in front of Indian army. None other victory in the world has happened at such a large scale ever in the world. No single victory has ever happened at such a scale. That was the biggest military victory ever. But the only thing is that we were having the access to 92,000 soldiers of Pakistan. But still, after the conclusion of this war, we basically signed a Shimla agreement. That's why it is often stated. So now this Shimla agreement was a bilateral agreement, no brokerage, but we basically sought for the peaceful resolution of the boundary dispute. It is often said that India won militarily in this war but lost diplomatically. We must have asked them that we will release your soldiers and we will not commit any kind of war, or basically we are not a threat to your soldiers, but instead of that we want Kashmir. We must have asked them this. We won diplomatically, we won militarily. That was the biggest military victory to India in the war of 1971 against Pakistan. But it was a very big loss to India diplomatically, because we failed in keeping our right points in front of the government of Pakistan that do this, then we will release the soldiers who are in our captivity. Okay. But what we did, we signed Shimla agreement. That was a agreement which India signed after winning. But after signing that agreement, we lost actually. Right. Within 13 days, Pakistan surrendered in front of Indian army. No, 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 right there. Right, the main point. Main point. India, what I said? Surrendered, and it was the largest. Yes, Muskan, good evening. Okay, so you are joining today online. Why not offline?
Sir, I was late today. That's why I joined online.
Come late, na? No problem. I ever said you anything when you are late? No, come late, no problem. But come offline if possible.
Okay,
चलो
sir.
कोई नहीं पढ़ो अभी. So क्या बोला अभी? It was a largest ever military victory of India. And result was the creation of Bangladesh. तो इससे इंडिया का बड़ा फायदा हुआ. इससे इंडिया की पूरे वर्ल्ड में प्रेस्टीज बढ़ गई, पाकिस्तान की पावर कम हो गई और इंडिया का ग्लोबल डोमिनेंस बढ़ गया. After this war, India's prestige at the global level increased. And one of a major deterrent to the power of India in Asia in bracket right Pakistan now became weak. And after this, India emerged as a dominant regional power. this, India emerged as a dominant regional power. One more contribution to the foreign policy of Indira is basically the smiling Buddha. What was smiling Buddha? It was the first nuclear test. See, we only know about Pokhran 2. What we call Pokhran test in 98 was actually the second nuclear test. The first happened during the time of Indira Gandhi under the Operation Smiling Buddha in 1974. All right. So that was also a achievement, and after this time, India became nuclear capable state. All right, and it was basically that after this testing, so India declared that the nuclear energy in India will only be used for a peaceful purpose only, because if we would have not done this, then there must have been so many sanctions on India. And basically this thing strengthened India's deterrence. Okay, now India became a big, I would say, a hegemon in Asia. All right. So now write this. Just put a heading. Oh, have I made you write the Shimla Agreement? Right. After the conclusion of the war in 1971, India and Pakistan signed Shimla Agreement in 1972. Full stop. It was a bilateral agreement that peacefully resolved the dispute. But even after winning militarily, the Kashmir issue still remained disputed. But one major thing happened here, that now, see, wait. Now, it was decided that in this agreement only, it was decided that Kashmir will now not be an international issue. It will be decided bilaterally. But now it was decided in this agreement, right? But now it was decided in this agreement that Kashmir issue is to be resolved bilaterally. India's nuclear policy under Indira. India's nuclear policy under Indira. India conducted its first nuclear test in 1974. Nuclear test, that too on the name of Buddha. I matlab we are, we are naming Buddha for a bomb blast. What is nuclear test? It's basically a controlled blast only. No, we are we are naming Buddha, who gave his life for preaching non-violence. Later on, it was clarified by the government that it's named on Buddha because we will be using our nuclear policy for peaceful purposes. But that peace came after a bomb blast only, right? So right. Right. So what you have written? Smiling Buddha. Okay. So right now India became a nuclear capable state. now India became a nuclear capable state, and this also strengthened India's nuclear deterrence. Don't write that nuclear deterrence because this was the start. So right, and it also strengthened India's strategic deterrence. Okay, this strengthened India's strategic deterrence. Okay, so also right, India declared that the nuclear energy will be used for peaceful purpose only. So see here on one side, and also right, and did not declare itself, yeah, did not declare the official status as nuclear weapon state. So we did not declare that we are now a nuclear weapon state. Okay, so that means somewhat a task of power came. Okay, we now got ourselves a very big power, that was a nuclear power. But see, we showed the world the responsibility also, that we are responsible. It's not that we are using this nuclear technology irresponsibly. No. Okay. This was a balanced approach. So now one more thing is there. Okay. So what happened? Just wait. Now first understand what happened. This is also a very big evidence that we were more close to USSR. Okay. How? In 1979, USSR invaded Afghanistan. Okay, it invaded Afghanistan's territory and stationed its forces inside Afghanistan. Okay, after that, yes, now USA also did so many things. It gave rise to Taliban and all for fighting with the USSR forces inside Afghanistan. Okay, and that was the same Taliban that basically did the 9/11 attack. All right, so that's a very different story. All right, but here the main thing is that after this, okay, so after this invasion, technically, it was because India always preached non-alignment. India always preached non-aggression. Okay, and all those ideals. So technically, India was supposed to condemn this at the global level. All right, but what India chose, we remained silent. We did not oppose that. We knew that was wrong. We knew that wasn't right. But again, it was the national interest of USSR. Now we will discuss about why it invaded in basically India USSR relation and Russia relation, but it invaded for its national interest and Indian government chose to be silent. Okay, so just put a heading: Afghanistan crisis 1979. Afghanistan crisis. In 1979, USSR forces invaded Afghanistan, and in response of that, India chose not to condemn India chose not to condemn USSR and did not openly support it. Support किया होता तो India would have supported it, then it was a problem for India's ideals, but it chose not to condemn it. Okay, and maintained neutral and independent position, and maintained neutral and independent relations. Now just we'll see two more things here, very short thing on this. During this time, now because China war happened in 62, now with China what happened? With China, improvement was in the time of Rajiv Gandhi, but somewhat more improvement and de-hyphenization, I will tell you. But here the relations of India with China were moreover stable. Okay, so relations with China during Indira Gandhi, there were attempts, right? There were attempts to improve India's relations with China. There were definite attempts. Okay, dialogues continued, and neighborhood majorly remained stable. Okay, and neighborhood remained majorly stable. Okay, now write one more economic dimension under Indira. Write one economic dimension also. So write right. There was focus on self-reliance. Okay, there was focus on self-reliance and domestic development. And in this time, what happened is during this time we were before Indira, we were majorly dependent on foreign aid, but the dependence on foreign aid got reduced. Okay, so became self-reliant, and India's dependence on the foreign aid got reduced during the time of Indira. Okay, all right. So this was basically, now we will be entering to the foreign policy under Rajiv Gandhi. Okay. So now what was happening during the time of Rajiv Gandhi was, see, leave it. Now here, what happened? चोट लगी? नहीं. So now Indira Gandhi got assassinated. Okay, in 1984. Now the son of Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, came to power. All right, he became the Prime Minister of India. Now, what happened? Why was she assassinated? That's a very different point. Okay. Now, just to give you a glimpse, because there was a rising Khalistani movement in India, all right, during that time, and Golden Temple became a major place where all that insurgents were basically hiding. All those the Khalistani terrorists were basically taking shelter, but along with them there were innocent people. And Golden Temple is in itself a very like the religious and a cultural heritage for India. Indira Gandhi did some miscalculations to basically remove those insurgents from Golden Temple. She carried out a Operation Blue Star, and in Operation Blue Star, army entered in a temple, in a shrine, in a revered place, and there were damages to the structures of Golden Temple, which was a very sad thing, obviously, because whatever the cause be, but when a religious structure gets any kind of damage, it hurts the sentiments of everyone. Okay, so after this, because she did this, so two bodyguards of Indira Gandhi who were sick only, they shot her down. Okay, so Indira Gandhi was died of this. Okay, so she was assassinated. Now after this, what happened during that time? There was basically riots also, but those riots ended very soon. Okay, now what happened? This time was now coming to be like going to be a better time for India. Here, what Rajiv Gandhi did was he continued the non-aligned policy, but with the practical consideration. Okay, what he did was he introduced a dimension of pragmatism, a greater dimension of pragmatism in the non-aligned policy. All right, so just write the introduction. Okay, so right, under Rajiv Gandhi, under Rajiv Gandhi, the non-alignment movement, or right, non-alignment policy that was started during the time of Nehru continued to be relevant, continued to be relevant. Okay, now right, India under Rajiv, India under Rajiv continued its emphasis on peace and disarmament globally. Okay, so our emphasis on this was still relevant. Okay, but with some added dimensions, but with some added dimensions. Practical decision making, and also one major security consideration. So we can call, so also right, Rajiv Gandhi's approach can also be called as modernized non-alignment ये आवाज कहां से आ रही है बाहर से आ रही है बाहर कहां से आ रही है एक सेकंड रुको कौन किसने कहा हु जस्ट स्पोक समथिंग नहीं यार इसमें से नहीं आ रही है को सोचने में मजबूर कर देते हो कि यहाँ से थी यहाँ so now just write modernized non-alignment with pragmatism. All right, so he was now pragmatic also, and the non-alignment movement got modernized. Okay, so first thing, if we talk about that non-alignment, it continued. Okay, so what, write one question: what were the core features of Rajiv Gandhi's foreign policy? ठीक है, so what were the features of Rajiv Gandhi's foreign policy? Right, A, continuity of he remained committed to the NAM principles. He remained committed to the NAM principles, but gave them a modern principle. So what was that modern principle? He basically now focused on the economic cooperation also. According to him, that NAM will not stop us from maintaining an economic ties with the countries. NAM will not hinder us from engaging economically with any country. Okay. According to this, he used NAM as a principle for increased economic cooperation. as a principle for increased economic cooperation. All right, comma, global justice and anti-racial struggle in Africa. Now, a very new concept. Concept of enlightened self-interest. See, according to his principle, that we do understand that our national interest must be our foremost consideration, but with the national interest, with upholding the interest of our nation, there is also very important thing, that is global responsibility. Accordingly, we will have to basically also take into consideration the needs of others, because we are a part of this global world where not only a country's national interest, but along with it, the global responsibility must also be our consideration. So, right, during this time, the principle of national interest first was followed in its best possible way, in its best possible way, but but with the with yeah remove the with national interest, sorry, with global responsibility. Okay, with global responsibility. Okay, any problem? Understood this? All right. So this was an approach to balance. This was an approach to balance idealism with practical needs. So next is, this is C or D? Okay. So right. Right. Rajiv Gandhi majorly emphasized on The first major emphasis, make like this only, was on technology, economic reforms, and global integration. And during this time, the foreign policy of India, and during this time, the foreign policy of India got linked with the economic development of the country. Got linked with the economic development of the country. Got it? So this was a major thing that happened during this time. It was that now the focus of our foreign policy will not be just to uphold the national interest. Okay, it will be to uphold the national interest, but one major component of national interest will be global integration. Our economy must not be stagnant, it must not be, and for being non-stagnant, it will have to integrate. Okay, the global supply chain is very much important, and we'll have to integrate with the global chain. All right, that was the major belief of his foreign policy. All right, so just write this. Okay, I made you write, na, foreign policy was linked to the global integration. All right, now right, question, put a question. Explain India's relations with the major powers during Rajiv Gandhi. So now, yes, obviously we had a tilt towards USSR, but during this time in 1885, he paid a visit to US. All right, and this was a strategic visit. Okay, during this time, what Rajiv Gandhi witnessed, he got the intelligence that nuclearization is also going on in Pakistan, and he tried to convey this message to US that nuclearization in Pakistan will be a very big threat. All right. So, and yes, the result of this visit was greater economic integration, okay, and improvement in somewhat relations with US. All right. So, first, right, relations with USA. So, right, Rajiv Gandhi paid a visit to USA in 1985. In 1985. By this visit, the relations between India and USA got improved. By this visit, the relations between India and USA got improved. Okay, got improved, and the major focus now was on economic cooperation between the countries. Economic cooperation between the countries, comma, technology exchanges, and cultural diplomacy. And cultural diplomacy. Okay, These were the major areas which were emphasized on. Okay. Uh, right, next point under this only. During this visit, the concerns regarding the nuclearization program of Pakistan was raised. Regarding Pakistan was raised as a very big threat to regional stability. As a very big threat to regional stability, right? Written. Are huh? Okay. कुछ तो दाल में काला है, राइटिंग दिखाओ अपनी. मैग्नीफाइंग ग्लास पता है ना क्या होता है? उसका इस्तेमाल करना पड़ेगा. एंड मैडम नॉट वर्किंग ऑन दिस माइक्रोस्कोपिक राइटिंग. Which pen you are using? Is this magic of this pen? Or your writing is always the same? This is your rough notebook? Why rough? Then, so what happened? Do one thing after this topic when I will start the relations between India and I think. Okay, most probably. A very big thing you are going to do. Now let's clap on this. Arey, you must have done this earlier only. He is just telling that, okay, sir, from Monday I will bring my notebook, like as if he is going to basically crack the most difficult algorithm in this world. Arey, this is what you are supposed to do. She just talked in the way that, like, for example, I say, I am teaching in class. Arey, that's what I am supposed to do. Yaar. Please do that, okay? Nothing is rough. Bring your fair notebook, okay? Another way, Muskan is due to some class timing clash, she is always late. So now she will never write in her fair notebook in this way if she will do also, okay? So don't do that. Muskan, you use your fair notebook or not?
Yes, sir. Fair one.
She used that papers. Yeah, that's a good strategy. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so now right. What was the last thing? Okay, regional stability. Okay, so now right, what have you written the first relations with US? Right, the same relations with USSR. No, one thing was felt during the time of Rajiv Gandhi that we are now slowly becoming over dependent on USSR. And see, over dependence on anything is wrong. Okay, now over dependence if will happen, now that will be again a threat, because in any case we don't share borders. If at any point of time anything happens, so that will again be a very big threat. Okay, to India's stability. क्या हुआ, क्या सोच रहे हो? नहीं, बताओ हमको क्या सोच रहे हो. नहीं, कुछ तो सोच रहे हो. अभी कुछ नहीं सोचो, जो बता रहे हैं वो सोचो. War. Something wrong is written. So हाँ सब मिले हुए हैं तीनों। जो उस बैच वाले हो ना, दूसरे बैच वाले हो ना तुम लोग, तुम तीनों मिले हुए हो। नहीं मिले हो, तुम्हारी दोस्ती खत्म करनी पड़ेगी, तुमको अलग बिठाएंगे अगली बार से, है ना। कहाँ है आपकी दोस्त? अगेन पता नहीं मुझे पता नहीं मुझे तो since last 2 days whenever I am just saying guys my the she enters so now so over dependence is always bad, right? So we must not be over dependent on any country, all right? So that was a very big problem. Oh, he tried to balance in USA, right? Relations between India and USSR during this time remained to be good. Remained to be good, but but there was a growing over dependence on USSR, which Rajiv Gandhi sought to reduce by adopting a more practical approach and by balancing India's relations between USA and USSR. Okay. Some developments also happened, okay, in terms of nuclear program. All right. So he basically now right one question. What were the like um, yeah, explain the relations of India with neighboring countries during this time, and in bracket write neighborhood policy. Are you again going to write this in your fair notebook? So much time will take. Okay. Now, what happened? There were some agreements also between India and basically Pakistan. So, first, right, India Pakistan relations during this time. So, okay. So, here some agreements were signed between India and Pakistan. No need to name exactly those agreements, but yes, those agreements basically mention that neither India nor Pakistan will attack on each other's nuclear facilities. Okay, so right, agreements were signed between India and Pakistan in which both countries agreed to not attack each other's nuclear facilities. But again, but again, Pakistan's rapidly growing nuclearization program emerged out to be a very big threat to India's security and regional stability. Okay, so threat to India's security and regional stability, and don't write this. Uh, and this was the time India officially started making its nuclear weapons. So लिख लिया क्या? लिख लो, लिख लो. And all right. Any problem in this understanding? So earlier it was that we will be just using our weapons for peaceful purposes, but now nuclear weapon also. Okay. So there was a Sri Lankan crisis also. Okay. Now Sri Lankan crisis is basically what happened. See, there are, just to give you a background, this just to give a quick background, because this we will study in India Sri Lanka relations. There are two communities in Sri Lanka, Sinhala and Tamilian. Okay, Tamils are basically the migrants that went there from India. Now the Sinhalese government started adopting the majoritarian policies, and they basically denied the basic human rights to the people, to Tamilians. Okay, they declared Buddhism as their official religion. They declared Sinhalese as basically their official language, and basically gave the second grade class citizen status to Tamilians. Okay, now there was rising movement in India. Okay, for basically protecting the rights of the Tamilian, because those Tamilians and Indian Tamilians shared identities. All right, now it is unofficial, but it is also true that India supported the LTT there. All right, the organization that was fighting for their rights. Okay, the Tamil organization. But later on, because we wanted stability, so Rajiv Gandhi and Jayawardene, they basically signed a pact. Okay, that according to that pact, India sent Indian peacekeeping forces to Sri Lanka to suppress the activities of LTT. Resultantly, at Sri Perumbadur, Rajiv Gandhi was again assassinated by LTT members. Right. So, just very in a shorter way, explain this Sri Lankan issue during Rajiv Gandhi. Put a heading. During this time, there was a conflict between Sri Lankan government and Tamil population, in bracket write LTT. Next point, India took action in this and first sent humanitarian aid by airdropping supplies at Jaffna. By dropping air supplies at Jaffna, which was seen as a violation of Sri Lanka's sovereignty. We helped them actually, but they saw it as violation. Which was seen as a violation of Sri Lanka's sovereignty. They thought we are violating their sovereign rights. Okay. Then in 1987, Rajiv Gandhi and Jayawardene, in bracket write Sri Lanka's president, ठीक है लिख लिया जयवर्धने, by which LTT was to make surrender. LTT signed India Sri Lanka Accord. Okay, I missed that. India Sri Lanka Accord. All right. So, signed India Sri Lanka Accord. All right. By which LTT was to make surrender, comma, unity of India Sri Lanka relations must be maintained. There were some positive sides also that, comma, right, areas where Tamilians were in majority were to be given autonomy. Okay, those places were to be given autonomy. And there must be no foreign presence, okay, in this area. All right, clear? So after this, what happened? Next point, there were deployments of Indian peacekeeping forces also. Which prolonged the conflict.
Sir, please repeat this point.
Madam, please repeat this point. There were deployments of Indian peacekeeping forces as well, which prolonged the conflict. Sri Lanka demanded the withdrawal of Indian troops. Which resulted in IPKF withdrawal. And later on, this LTT assassinated Rajiv Gandhi. which became a major setback to India's foreign policy. Okay. So one very small thing, write the point D. Relations with China. China. China is China in English CHI यानी China भी नहीं होगा. China. Hindi is sorry. English is a not very good language. READ 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 read. Huh? Isn't it? Read क्या? Read. So in Hindi we have to write. This will be very proper, no? But although we write Chin, and even in Indian, any language of India, you will take, no? Whether it be Sanskrit, the oldest language of the world, whether it be Tamil, whether it be Kannada, Telugu, or any other language, there are actual very precise pronunciations. Very precision is there. But this globally accepted language don't have any precision in it. Which is the oldest language in the world? Huh? Oldest language. Tell me which one is? Which is the oldest language in the world? Pali, Prakrit were very like they came later. Roman, Tamil, Tamil. We think Sanskrit. I expected Sanskrit answer from you, but because many people believe this thing that Sanskrit is the oldest language in the world, but no, it's Tamil. I think Aarti used to be there. Na? Aarti was there in the class today. Vishnu?
Sir,
Aarti was there in today's class.
sir, it is not visible here.
Not visible. I'm asking, was Aarti there in today's class? Have you seen in your this class? Was Aarti there today?
Yes, sir, it is not visible in the corner. Like you can only
It's
check.
not visible to you. Huh?
No, sir.
Oh, acha. So whosoever there in class, it's not visible to you. Okay, it's visible only to me then. Okay. So when someone message, then only it's visible. Oh, okay. I think she is from Tamil Nadu. You know? So now, what happened? Rajiv Gandhi visited in China also in 1988. All right, but no result came. No result. Okay. So right, Rajiv Gandhi visited China in 1988. In 1988, oh no, one major improvement was there. Dehyphenization was there. Yes. See, something was there that it was now decided during this visit that our territorial dispute will not hinder our economic relation. Agreements were signed stating that agreements were signed stating that stating that our disputes will not hinder
Sir, please repeat this point.
No, you सुनो, दूसरा दूसरा हम फ्रेम करेंगे, है ना. There were agreements that were signed between India and China, according to which our disputes will not block our relations in other areas. Are you looking confused? क्या अच्छा, सही एकदम. See, that means that we are having a territorial dispute. It's okay, but that territorial dispute will not stop our relation in economic dimension. That means, okay. So it separated the border dispute from other cooperations. That much in this. Put this heading, and we will be continuing from here in the next class. All right. Most probably in 1.5 more hour, we will be covering all this. Okay. So then after that, we will be starting with, I think from Tuesday onwards. Sunday को पढ़ना है. Want to study on Sunday also? Huh? Arshika, Muskan, Vishnu, want to study on Sunday also? Tell.
No, sir.
Sir, Sunday we have to study for college.
Sunday? What on Sunday?
कॉलेज का वर्क करना होता है सर.
Go do that. कोई बात नहीं. From next time we'll see. We'll schedule the class and you'll have to come. Okay, leaving this Sunday. Okay. All right. So we'll continue in the next class. All right. Okay. ठीक है हर्षिका, no problem. Okay, bye bye. Welcome, welcome.